Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the latest episode of Rick and Morty Promortyus. And I didn't really enjoy this one. Now, granted, I didn't think it was complete and utter crap, but I didn't really find it as funny as some of the other ones that I'd seen, and I probably wouldn't really do a rewatch for this if it came up in a marathon. So we start off and we see that Rick and Morty are walking around with these weird things attached to their faces. And they're carrying these weird eggs. And Morty goes by this pretty much thing hanging from the ceiling. It pulls the thing a little bit, one of its tentacles that are connected to him. He's able to start getting it off. And then, of course, his one partner's trying to come and make sure that it stays on. He pulls at that. They're able to get him off. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? We then also learn about Morty's Pornhub habits and that it's better to have an account so that way it analyzes your shit for the algorithm. And that he plans on somehow that helping him with a girl. Okay, I didn't mind that bit. That was kind of funny. I'm like, okay, interesting. Kind of sways Rick for some reason. And then they go to see what's going on with the civilization because they'd evidently looked at a wet egg for some odd reason. And then it led to this. It's like, what the fuck? And they just decide to pretty much tape him back on after they have to shoot Morty's again because it's still alive and go around to see what's going on. And evidently the life cycle is them attaching it to themselves, the alien parasite thing, and then you shit out an alien egg and die. It's like, oh, right. And evidently these things go by Glorzo and just collective lies. So it's like, okay, this is kind of similar to the Unity thing. But I actually like the Unity bit a little bit better. And they're just going through, and evidently Morty's Glorzo thing is this big leader dude. And evidently Rick is just an insane YouTube dude. Spouting about how they should be doing their life cycle stuff of doing the egg thing. It's like, alright, whatever. And we find out that Morty Glorzo had made this thing to spread the rest of the thing throughout the galaxy using pretty much Rick's shit. So they go with a bit of being like, yeah, why don't you kind of stop this shit? And it's like, you haven't blinked in 20 minutes and you're not talking with your mouth. What the fuck's going on? They're able to pretty much fight their way through, get onto the ship, pretty much dragging this fucking thing around with them, and then they go on a pretty much murder spree of being like, hey, it's kind of like Star Wars, as they're blasting everything. They get to a thing that's like the Twin Towers, and they decide not to do that, but instead go for the Pearl Harbor effect, destroying that thing. And I'm just like, okay. Not really. I didn't really find it funny, and I'm just like, okay. I don't mind that they attempted to do humor with it. I'm just like, okay. Pretty much just them talking about how they usually suffer almost no repercussions for these kind of things. But they go back, they go home, and they're eating pretty much pancakes with the family. It's like, yeah, we had one of those crazy-ass adventures. And she's like, oh, so where's Summer? Oh, yeah, she is sleepy, so evidently Summer was involved with that. And Jerry is into beekeeping. That comes into effect in the stinger at the end. So they go back, and they are like, yeah, this is why we usually don't do these sequels, because we have integrity and all that shit. And they're kind of pissed off. They are brought to their god, pretty much. And that's where we see Summer. They don't, of course, remember everything that happened, and then we get pretty much a flashback of everything that was going on. And we see that Summer had evidently had a toothpick. And that's the whole reason why she didn't get slacked on by one of the egg people. It's like the Glorzo. It's like, okay. It's like the bare thinnest. Like, okay, they could have done a little bit something more with it. But I'm like, it works serviceably for the plot. And they essentially make her a god because the fucking things can't attach themselves to it. Now, granted, I would pretty much be like, that's a fucking destroyer. And we learned that the usual life cycle of these things is they attach to whatever host they are. 30 minutes later, they fucking egg shit themselves. And that's pretty much what they've been doing. Somehow, for no other reason just to really advance the plot, Summer's able to be like, hey, why don't you not do that? I'm like, it's usually a biological process like that. It's pretty much, you really don't be like, hey, I'm going to stop peeing or shitting. It's pretty much presented as shitting the egg, biological kind of function of like its reproductive cycle. It's like, yeah, if they had done something of like having an effect of stopping the egg hole cycle thing going on, sure, okay, cool. And while this flashback is going on, Rick and Morty are in a cell, and we had been shown that Morty playing the harmonica at a certain frequency induces the egg shitting effect. That becomes important because she's like, I got an idea, just roll with me. And they pretty much get him to there, and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to sentence you to death. Okay, we'll do that by putting him in their ship. I'll go with them, and we'll die. You're just trying to escape. And then he's like, Morty, play the thing. And then he does it, starts inducing it. The ship's able to copy it. It's going on. And they're like, you fucking assholes! And they still leave, and one dude smashes down, gets attached by a face hugger thing, and he's like, I ain't cleaning this shit up. Then they get back home. Summer's like, yeah, whatever you chose, call me for the next one. And then Morty and Rick pretty much go off to watch Interdimensional Cable, and they think they're pretty much going to die, but they just shit on the floor. Still kind of funny callback a little bit, but I'm like, okay. And we get the end stinger that Jerry is doing his beekeeping. Summer has one of her friends over, and her friend wants to fuck Jerry because he keeps bees. It's like the barest minimum. I'm like, okay. I just didn't really find it funny. Now, granted, if you find it funny, that's cool and everything. It's just, this really wasn't one of my favorite episodes and really didn't really get into anything that really interested me. So, those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.